I'm Ernst Ahlberg. Today I'm going to talk about the cognitive company, what it is and how you can transform your company into a cognitive one. First, a bit about me. I'm a scientist and a strategist. I've worked with data science and AI for more than 15 years, with everything from off-target predictions in pharma to capacity optimization and online pricing. I joined Stena Line 2 years ago to build a strategic roadmap that would allow the company to achieve its bold ambition of becoming a cognitive company and to help maximize the value from data science, machine learning and analytics. When I joined, the vision of the cognitive company was already in place. The digital butterfly effect movie showcasing what could be achieved had been produced and the general management was all on board.
Oranges, sweet fruits, but only when picked at the right time. They ripen just as long as they are on their branches. If they stay too long, they grow over-mature. But what decides when the oranges are ready for harvest? The tree? The soil? The skin? A taste of juice from a sample? It's all of this, and interestingly enough, this in turn will affect us at Stena Line a great deal. Let's talk a little bit about what we call the digital butterfly effect. Life is full of choices. Each choice generates a new path. Each path produces a different outcome. Some of these paths are born out of chaos, like a coffee mug being spilled, giving a busy mother a thought, lingering in her head, making her take action later on. But many of these choices can be calculated through the information we send out, consciously as well as unconsciously. What if, in this world of chaotic coincidences and chance decisions, we can sort out the information useful to us, make out patterns and take action based on that information, not by trying to figure things out, but by observing the world around us. Gathering bits of information here and there. Letting that information socialize with other bits of information, merging into a whole, enabling us to see the big perspectives, as well as the smallest individuals. Those small bits may seem unimportant to some, therefore often overlooked, can end up making a big difference to someone else. The butterfly effect states that the flap of a butterfly's wings in Japan can stir up a hurricane in Canada. One minor and seemingly unrelated change in one piece of information can have a widespread impact on a future state. What we do is simply to acknowledge this fact and adapt to it, using our insights to find out more. Because the more we know about how the world works today, the more accurately we can predict what will happen tomorrow. And then we will not be sitting on our asses guessing, oh no, we won't. Then we will know, and once we know, we can go to action. Everything is connected. We just need to open our eyes.
contains some really nice nuggets and showcases how we want the experience of the cognitive company to be, including seamlessness for staff as well as customers, utilizing available information to make decisions and take action. Now, that's all great, but the thing that wasn't ready was how to get there. Looking at it, there are three key features defining the cognitive company: simplification, decision making, and information management. Simplification means reducing complexity in the business and automating manual repetitive processes. In essence, any process that can be described can be written as an algorithm and can then be automated. By automating repetitive manual tasks, we free up time for our staff to do more. That is what we call saving time for business. Decision making. We need to empower people and machines to make informed decisions. A company that doesn't take decisions doesn't last long, and the better decisions you take, the more your company thrives. Information as an asset, turning data, information and knowledge into a managed asset. This is a key to increase the speed at which information travels in the business and also to enable informed decision making. So, simplification we can do, but how do we improve decision making? Well, it's all about getting the right information to the right decision maker at the right time. Let's take an example. Imagine that you're shopping for the best ice cream on a hot day in a city where the stores have no signs and the streets have no names. What would you do? Well, one option would be to walk into stores at random to see if they serve ice cream. Another option would be to start to ask people on the street if they know a place. And if they do, how do you find it? If at last you manage to find an ice cream vendor, you would have to try the ice cream to know if it was any good or not. Luckily, this is not the case. Stores have signs, streets have names, and usually you can just use your smartphone to guide you to a nearby vendor rated by previous visitors. By using the ratings to prioritize which vendor to visit, you could increase your chances of getting the best ice cream in the area. All of this is possible because information has been made available to you, the decision maker. Vendors describe their products and location. Visitors rate the vendors. Signs give you local guidance, and your smartphone gives you the blue dot experience with turn-by-turn directions. All information flows so that the right information is available to the right decision maker at the right time. Happily eating away on your ice cream, you might wonder if there's a weather effect on the sales of your company. To investigate that, you probably need the sales data together with sales location and observed weather. So, the setting is the same as in the ice cream example. You need information, but this time the information is within your company. So you pick up your smartphone or your trusty company-approved laptop and fire away. Now, can you search for the information you need within your company? Can you find out who to talk to? Or at least the person responsible for the information you need? Can you find a description of the data that you have such that you know how to combine it with other data? Can you find out what access you need and how to get it? And most importantly, can you use your device together with the company data to predict your next best action while still eating ice cream? If you take a step back and compare this to the ice cream analogy, would you say that you are at the random walk stage, the blue dot stage, or maybe somewhere in between? In general, speed at which information and data travels in a company needs to increase. Having to go from person to person to find information is pretty standard, and often information is shared via meetings, resulting in slow decision making. And if you don't know who uses your data in the company, then you don't know who your customers are, because users even within the company are customers. But if you're at the blue dot stage, all of your information flows as easily within the company as it flows outside, and you can utilize all of it to make decisions and take the best action. Hats off to you, congratulations, you've made it. But if not, don't worry, you're not alone. Needless to say, we still have some work to do before we are at the blue dot stage. So to help us get there, we needed to understand where we were at. To do that, we looked out the window and drew inspiration from the car industry and the scale for autonomous drive. But we decided to reshape it into autonomous business. In our scale, at level 0, no data is connected and humans make all decisions, which is comparable to when we take our driver's test today. At level 1, data is connected and used to support human decision making in a simplistic way. For level 2, we have AI recommender systems, giving advanced decision support still to human decision makers. At level 3, this is where we've switched things around. Now we allow AI to make decisions under human supervision. Level 4 is really about utilizing the untapped potential of connected information in the company, where AI would be allowed to suggest new business ideas. And at level 5, we go all the way, allowing AI to both suggest and deliver on the new business ideas. Comparing with the scale for autonomous drive, at level 5 it's been said that that's when you can throw out the steering wheel through the window. Now, jokingly, we've said that we want to throw out the general management through the window. Although that's not really where we're going, but it gives us an idea about the future. So we use the scale to classify our initiatives and ensure that we have at least one in each area in the business that is at level 2 or above, and that all new initiatives reaches level 1. But getting to level 5 is not necessarily the end goal. A key principle comes in here, and that's follow the money. We will only go as far as is economically viable. And we have a clear focus on initiatives that lead to the highest increased revenue. But we can't go directly from 0 to 4. We need to take small steps and gain trust and confidence in the organization. An AI system that is not trusted and thus not used will not result in increased revenue. So, as much as this is a scale of cognitivity, it's also a scale of AI maturity. If you truly are at level 0, it might be difficult just to describe the business decision process, but then, when you've connected the necessary data and drawn some basic conclusions, it usually becomes easier. Then, once at level 1, you should be able to get agreement on creating a recommender system for the business, where the business is in full control, of course. That will take you to level 2, and once there, with the business confident about the system, that's when the question will start to come, asking why they constantly need to go in and apply the recommendations. Can't it just be automated? Of course it can, and we will do it, because that's when we're ready for level 3. Now we've automated the process and it's supervised by the business, and we have achieved simplification. With that said, there's a lot of talk about digital transformation, and in my mind we already have the digital tools and algorithms that we need, so that's not really the challenge. The challenge is making it stick and getting it used in the business. So it's not as much a digital transformation that we're after, but a business transformation. When I sit down with the business, I don't know all the details in each area, but the people in the respective area do. And that means that they need to own their processes and their information and describe it such that others, like myself, can use it. They also need to govern it and ensure that the right person have the right access. Together, they can also make it useful across the business. So we need to supply the right digital tools to allow them to do that, but they need to take ownership. For example, if we have access to historic data of staffing and sales for the ice cream shop, together with information about historic weather forecasts and observed weather, we can predict how much stock we need and the amount of staff required. Then we can start to look at what's the most profitable combination given the forecast. But that's only possible if we have the information and it's been described such that we can use it and combine it. Because it is when we connect information across the company that the magic really happens. When we make new connections across different sources and areas, the company neuron starts to fire and we achieve cognitivity. To allow that to happen means clarifying roles and objectives in the business functions. It means driving governance of information, access, terminology, ontology, and also enforcing consistency within the business areas as well as outside through the whole company. Because you know you have a problem when different parts of the company use the same term to mean different things. On top of that, it also means education. Everyone needs to be up to speed with a new way of doing business. And that's especially true for procurement, because we need to ensure that the new tools and services we bring in work seamlessly with our information strategy. All systems should expect to deliver information to other systems in machine and human readable formats. Think about your data and think fair data. When you sit down with the business, take time to prioritize all initiatives. Having dedicated representatives from the business, the tech and IT, and data science forms a perfect group to drive transformation within and across business areas. Make sure to account for the needs of the business, but weigh it against the effort required. Follow the money is your guiding star. So, with the right commitment and the right support, any business can become a cognitive company. If we do this right, we will raise awareness in the whole organization. We will build sustainable, reusable solutions across the business areas and create added value, and that significantly outperforms business as usual improvements. At Stena Line, this has resulted in great value for the company in initiatives ranging from capacity optimization and pricing to reduced fuel consumption in the vessels. How have we achieved it? Well, simplification. We've automated manual processes and refocused human effort on more complex and bespoke tasks, saving time for business. Decision making. People and machines can now make informed decisions and take action. On top of that, AI decision making supervised by humans is now a reality in the company. Information management. We have improved the flow and management of information in the company, and as a result, we've created great value in terms of both increased revenue and in reduced costs. Are we there yet? No, but we're on the right path. As an example, let's take a look at the Stena Fuel Pilot. The purpose of the Fuel Pilot is to minimize the required fuel consumption for each sailing. At level 0, we just have access to the logs. At level 1, we have access to a speed over ground recommendation for the estimated time of arrival. But that's not the most economical way of driving a vessel. Now, the first task of the business was to do something that was better than that, taking into account things like weather and currents to give a recommendation. But with that in place, the senior master realized that regularly acting on recommendations was a distraction and it needed to be automated. So with this solution, we're now at level 3 in our cognitivity scale. But doing this work has opened up our eyes for further improvements that would likely not have been identified without this initiative. Creating a cognitive company is to transform the business. It requires involvement across the company, and it will take you right into the future. With that, I'd like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to speak to you here today and you for listening. If you're curious, don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks.